Hi, I'm Matt, and this is a setup and instructional video for our 2020 Grand Design 24BH. And this video is primarily for people who have rented or are thinking about renting our RV here. But if you did stumble across this video by random and are interested in renting out this RV, it is available through Outdoorsy and RV Share. I'll throw a link in the description with a $50 bonus code. So first of all, I want to start out by showing you what our camper comes with, pretty much what you're going to find in the front storage compartment. So we'll walk through here. First of all, this is your water hose for drinking water. It's a 50-foot flexible hose, and we also have a filter. If you did want to drink the water at your campsite, this would go on the faucet at the campsite. In this bin here, you'll find the extra sewer hose and the sewer connections. The main sewer hose is actually located in the rear bumper. I'll show you that in a minute. And this is a flexible hose for the black tank rinse. We'll show you how to do that as well. This is an extension cord for the power outlet. This will be necessary if you need to use our generator. Perhaps you have the generator in the back of your truck. The outlet for this rig is in the very back, so you'll need an extension cord for that. Roasting sticks. This is a flexible ramp for the sewer hose. Some of the luxury resort parks will actually require one of these, and they also help with elevation if you need it to get that gravity feed for your sewer hose. Outdoor mat, of course. This is just a little fire starting kit that we offer with the camper. And this is a tool bin, just kind of with some random tools you might need. You know, I do have some fuses, tire gauge. If you want to check the levels of the propane tanks, I have that. One handy thing that's in this toolkit that I highly recommend using, not the drill, but this drill adapter I provide for free use. Bring a drill with you, and this will save you a lot of time, because you can use this to raise and lower your stabilizer jack. Super easy. Highly recommend bringing a drill with. And then in this bin here, you'll find all the leveling blocks, which I'm currently using right now in the driveway, and also the Anderson levelers, which I'll show you how to use those in a minute too. All right, let's talk about leveling your camper. The first thing you do if you don't have a level campsite is level it side to side. And to do that, you actually do it while the camper is still attached to the vehicle. And the fastest, best way to do it we found is with these Anderson levelers. So basically you go to the low side of the camper and you put each of these levelers behind the two tires. Then you have somebody stand with the level and just have the driver back up until the bubble's level. Once it's level side to side, you just put in these Anderson chocks and you're level side to side. Now you can go ahead and take the RV off the vehicle hitch and then use a power tongue jack to level it front to back. And after that's done, then you put the stabilizer jacks. These stabilizer jacks right here, these are not supposed to be used to adjust the height of your camper. These are only stabilizer jacks. You put them down after the camper's level. And I like using these wooden blocks. The more spread apart your stabilizer jack is, the more stable your RV is going to be. So if you can give it a little height with these, it's helpful. All right, now we'll walk around the outside and I'll show you how the exterior systems work, and then we'll go inside and show you that. Okay, for starters, up front here, this comes with a built-in Anderson weight distribution and sway system, and that's this right here. I'll do a separate video and link it in the description on how this works, but pretty much it can only be used with our hitch here. So even though if you have a hitch, it doesn't matter, we still need you to use ours. We'll have you measure your receiver before you come out, and then we'll adjust this so it's set up perfectly for your truck. Okay. This is the power tongue jack. We do have this cover on it because these technically aren't waterproof, so we ask that you keep that on when you can. But essentially it has a light on front and then, you know, power up and down. Okay. This does have dual 20-pound propane tanks, and basically we'll turn them on for you before you go, and it actually has an auto switchover regulator. So once one tank runs out, it's going to automatically switch over to the other. So pretty much should be worry free. This does have a single battery, and let's talk for a second about what that'll work. Now if you have a full power hookup at your campsite, you don't need to worry, everything's going to work. But if you were going to boondock or stay overnight somewhere where you are not able to plug in, This battery will work for a day or two, but it will only power like your lights, bathroom fan, it will power the water pump, and the furnace fan. If you're truly gonna go on a long trip boondocking, we do have a dual fuel generator that you can rent, and we just got a 120 amp or 120 watt solar system that plugs right into the camper too. So we do have some options for that. All right, walking around the side here. On the front here, it does have a couple electrical outlets. If your resort or campsite has cable, it does have a hookup for cable. Those cords will be under the master bed up front. If you're camping at a site that does not have a water hookup, you can fill up the tank and use the onboard water system with the water pump. We just ask that you fill up when you get to your location. It's not the best to travel with a full water tank. That can put extra wear and tear on the camper. Okay, in the back here, we do have an outdoor kitchen. So it has a fridge. This works off electric, so this will not work off propane. You do have to have a plug-in to have the fridge work. And then it also has an outdoor stove. So basically, I mean, it works like a residential stove, but there's two things you need to do to get this hooked up. Underneath here, if I can find it, is the propane hookup. And this plugs with a quick connect right into here. And then once it's connected, there's a little on-off valve. It has to be parallel with the gas line that's on. So those are the two things you need to do to get the outdoor kitchen to work. And if you're having trouble getting this to light, there could be some air in the propane lines. So you can actually purge the system by running the indoor stovetop for a minute, and that should build enough pressure back into the lines to get this to start right away. And just make sure that you disconnect the hose and put this in its place before you shut that drawer. This is a spray port. I'll show you the other spray port up front. Unfortunately, when they shipped this camper, this is a new camper this year, this is the wrong size port. So sorry, that's not gonna work. Hopefully in the future we'll get that fixed, but right now that's not working. All right, moving on back. Full size spare. We do have a ladder. We just ask that you don't use the ladder. Please stay off the roof. And here is where the power connection is. This is a 30 amp connection, and like most RV power connections, it's kind of a, you plug it in and then screw it in, and this would be the connection that would go in your 30 amp campsite electrical outlet. Now sometimes people might not have a 20 or a 30 amp site and they want to use 110 or like a standard household electrical outlet. You can use that, and we have this adapter here for that. So it's pretty much plug and play system. Now with that 110 electrical cord, keep in mind that you're not going to be able to use all the systems with that. It'll power everything except the air conditioner and the microwave. So moving on. All right, let's talk about the sewer hose. The main sewer hose is kept in the rear bumper here. You just pull this out. It's got a little cap that screws on. And I'll show you here how this connects. So here is the sewer outlet, and this is where the black water and the gray water will come out. Black water is toilet, gray water is sink and shower. So that just unscrews, this screws on, and then I have this 90-degree elbow. This is located in that kit in the front storage. And this simply screws on like that. And this will go into your campsite sewer connection. There's pretty much a hole in the ground, and some of them have, you can actually screw it in, some just kind of plugs in, but that's how the hose works. Now, when you're at your site, we ask that you keep the black tank and the gray tank valve closed. The valves for those are located right underneath the lettering here. You can see this valve. Pushed in is closed, obviously. Pulled out is open. There's one black tank here, one gray tank here, and there's another gray tank valve in the front that I'll show you. So it's best to keep those shut until your system is full or until you're gonna leave. And the proper way to dump the tanks is to dump the black tank first. Keep the gray ones shut, open the black. You can see when it starts to get clear through here, then you can open the gray valves and that'll help flush the hose out. And there's one additional step too we ask that you do. After you've emptied it, this gray hose that we have in the kit up front, this is the black tank flush. It just screws right into here. You put this into the water supply. There's usually a faucet at the dump station, and this will actually go in and help clean out that black tank. And again, you just kind of run it till you get really good clear water coming out the elbow there, and you're good to go. All right, moving on to the front. Here's that solar port. If you do rent our solar panels, it's a really easy plug and play system right there. And this is kind of the all-in-one connection system that Grand Design has. So you'll see there's some 110 outlets, you know, some cable connections. This is a battery disconnect. We leave that on. That's just pretty much for storage. If for some reason your battery's not working, check that this didn't get turned or come off. If you're using a campsite that has a water connection, we'll be on city water. If you're gonna use the portable water, it would be flipped up to fresh tank. But we should have those settings all done for you. This is where the water hose would connect to. This elbow right here is actually a water pressure regulator. If your site had a water system that was too powerful, this would prevent any damage from the internal plumbing systems. And then this right here is an outdoor shower, and that's what this portable hose is for. So that would pretty much plug into there. And then you have a little portable hose to shower, rinse things off, or whatnot. Like I said before, unfortunately this does not fit in that rear port. All right, that is the outside. Now we'll go check out the inside. All right, now I'm gonna show you the inside, but before we do, I wanna talk about the awning really quick. The awning is probably the most likely thing to break and probably one of the most expensive things to get fixed. So be very careful with the awning, bring it in every night, and if it's windy, bring it in. And also too, it's not a bad idea. These are made to be adjustable, so you can pull it down to put it at an angle. That way water won't pool up and put extra pressure on the framing and prevent damage. Going inside now. Before you put these steps down, make sure the door is all the way open, otherwise they can catch and scratch the door frame. Pull this lever here. Steps are really light and easy, and they come all the way down. If your site's not completely level, you can adjust these legs to give it a nice solid step. Railing right here just pops into place. And right when you get inside, the main control panel is going to be right off to your right. And this is where, you know, you can turn on your interior lights, exterior lights. Water pump is only used if you are using portable water. If your campsite has water, you don't need to use this. Water heater runs off gas or electric. This is also where you can check the status of your battery or tanks by just pressing these buttons and looking at the indicator light. So battery, full. You know, fresh tank, it's empty, black, and the 2 gray tanks. That's where you check all that. Here's the buttons for your awning. And this is for your slide out. So the slide out, you pretty much hold it down. You can kind of hear the motors working. So once you hear the pressure on the motor and see that it's almost flush with the wall, slides all the way out. All right, bathroom here. I can't see it probably from your view, but right out to the side, you got a switch for a fan and lights. You do have a 110 outlet, standard vanity. Toilet, RV toilet. So basically, when there's water in the system, which we don't have right now, so I can't totally show you, but this foot flush right here, if you hold that halfway down, that's gonna fill the bowl up with water. Once you have enough water in there for flushing, you hold it all the way down, and then it'll flush. For this toilet paper only, no products, no wipes. Okay, shower here, it works as like a residential shower. This is the shower curtain. We just ask you to be careful with this. It clicks onto here, but it has a pretty good spring that brings it back. So when you go to put it back, you gotta be careful that you hang on to it. If you let go, it'll slam back into the roller case there. So just slowly let it go back. Otherwise, that is the bathroom. All right, show you the dinette here. So basically, this is a freestanding table. Can be moved about as you want, and you can also turn this into a bed using the table. We just ask that when you're driving, make sure it is strapped down. We did have somebody that didn't do that, and this ended up almost by the entertainment center. You know, it'd be a good way to do some damage and lose a security deposit. Going around here to the TV. Pretty simple to use. You know, you have a remote for the TV and a remote for the RV system right here. The system, you can sync your phone to it for Bluetooth for music and whatnot. You know, it has TV. If you hit input and go right up to AV, hit OK. This is what you use for the DVDs. All right, and it's pretty simple. If this is on, it will automatically load, and it will play automatically. Disc loading. If you're getting an error message that you know, it's still loading or something's not working, it's most likely it's not a good DVD. So that's how that DVD system works. Below it is storage, and here's some of the things that we provide. You know, paper plates, some plastic utensils, paper towels, cups, that sort of thing. Below here, this is where the fuse box is. Everything is pretty labeled, and the instruction manual has a lot of information about the fuses as well. All right, stovetop. You know, it's just your standard gas stovetop. You turn it on, and it has auto light. And then kind of a standard oven. It also has auto light, although it can be a little finicky. Standard microwave, additional storage. All right, you know, we do have an extension for the countertop. Just make sure before you put the slide in, this has to be down. That could be some damage there if that's still up when you put the slide in. All right, here's the fridge and freezer combo. Now the controls are actually inside the freezer. It's kind of goofy, but all right, so this can actually operate off electric or gas. If you have it on auto, it's gonna pick which one to use. Right now we're plugged into the house, so it's actually on electricity, or you can switch it automatically over to gas. Now, if it's on gas and you get this check light, that just means some air got in the system and it lost connection. To fix that, you just turn it on or turn it off, back on, and it'll reconnect itself. And then you can adjust the temperature right here. That is the fridge. All right, now we're in the front master bedroom. Up here you got lights, and then you have a digital thermostat here. This bottom button is what cycles through the heat, air conditioner, or fan, and then up and down for the temperature. Pretty simple. Okay, so you have a sliding door here. This is important. This has to be latched while you're driving. Just snaps on like that. If you don't, it can actually slide off its hinges and damage the wall. All right. We do have a TV and a DVD player. It's in the side here. Pretty simple to use. Remote, we usually keep in one of those drawers. Reading lights up here. You can cycle between soft blue and regular light. And then, you know, your standard wardrobe for hanging clothes and a couple of drawers. You got 110 on this side, 110 and USB on this side. So basically that sums up how we use and operate our Grand Design Imagine. And if you're out on the road renting, feel free to contact us anytime with questions. We'd be happy to help you out. And if you're thinking about renting this camper, check out our links. And otherwise, happy camping.